There's something with like a haunted castle looking thing on it in there, and it's really good.
A spicy
Bottom.
Oh yeah, you get stuck to the magneto.
I actually use this thing quite often.
You were saying that.
A what? I'll try whatever that is. What is that? Yeah, I'll try that.
Pale ale. Hey everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching our double live Gonzo, all the way live. Me and Dylan on Thursday. Live stream. We haven't done this on Thursday for a long time.
Yeah. We definitely haven't done it like during an extended work day where people are still actually sanding.
They're still actually working.
Yeah.
So the guys in the workshop said, "Hey, how important are you?" And I said, "I don't really know. They're important, but what did I said I don't know because
yeah. So I guess the question is, how many right now?
I have 55.
See, and I only have 28. So
okay.
apparently thumbnails are important.
Thumbnails work. So,
and what I've also found,
yeah,
is that non-guitar related thumbnails,
yes,
work better than guitar related thumbnails.
So Mike Beckloff was asking about the thumbnails and how important are they, and so Dylan and I have exactly the same title.
Yep.
At exactly the same time. E and I are sitting at exactly the same table, filming exactly the same everything. His thumbnail is pictures of guitars. My thumbnail is a picture that I did an image search for hot chicks and put it on the thumbnail. Yeah. Now I also got more hate mail than you.
You did.
Yes. So someone called you a twat.
Oh.
No, he called me one. Yeah. And someone said that, well, and then someone said that it was lame and then wished me peace. I'm not sure what, like, I guess it's one of those Jungian things. Yeah.
How can somebody wish you were lame and also wish you peace?
They were like, yeah, this is a lame thumbnail, peace.
I hope you can't walk, but I hope you are okay with that.
Well, the duality of man has always been something that's been an interest of mine ever since I saw Matthew Modine in Full Metal Jacket. But anyway,
usually we don't get into the duality of man in the first hour, but we're like 2 minutes.
We're gonna run right. We're gonna stampede toward the Jungian philosophy, and it's gonna be a lot of laughs.
So, for those of you that don't know, this is Dylan Talks Tone web channel, YouTube channel over on this side, and then we have
Texas Toast Guitars over on this
side. And this is something that we do when we get together 3 to 4 times a year.
Yeah.
And everybody on my channel is like, man, I really like your live streams when Matt's not there. I like them when you are here.
Yeah, I like them better too. No, not better. I like to be here for those too. I have developed quite a following, as you know, of people who don't like me.
Oh, so yeah, me too, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. So we're here building. We were going to build 6 strats this week.
Yep.
I think we're building 11.
Yeah. Well, okay. So what happened? What had happened was, due to a clerical error on my part, we had one more guy than we thought, and that's not unheard of. But it's not exactly common either. And so we have 7 guys here in the shop, and here's something that is all the way common. Steve at Maximum Guitar Works says, "Hey, I made some extra ones. Do you want them?" And I say, "Sure." And then I get the bill, and I'm like, "Oh my God, how?" Yeah. So it was a lot more than just a few.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I think we're making. Well, we had the one extra of mine that's not related to this class,
but
that was on deck,
and it looks good too.
It looks great. And then also we had 4 extras, with 2 of which are sold.
Yes.
Despite what
Yes.
Maggie says in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, but I have to say, thanks to Maggie for inspiring.
Let's talk a little bit
This
about this
conversation.
person who I may or may not know.
So,
oh no, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
And this is the thumbnail on both of our channels.
Mine is just has an irreverent.
Catchier. It's catchier.
It's the same. It's the same title.
It is.
Yeah.
Why would you or would you not buy a guitar from somebody who you are not familiar with personally?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I think if you wanted something that was specific to them or peculiar to them, and nobody else had it, then that'd be a good reason. You know.
Yeah.
You had to imagine there was a time when no one knew who Leo Fender was.
Yep.
There had to have been a time when if you didn't know Paul Bigsby, you might be like, well, who's this guy? Who's Paul? You know, but it doesn't mean that they're good, bad, or indifferent. It just means you don't know them. Which, gosh, hey Dylan, why would I want to watch insert name of race car driver here? I don't know anything about race cars. If I don't know,
curiosity is nothing else.
But you see what I guess what I'm driving at is just because I don't know the name of that person doesn't mean that they aren't awesome.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true. And sometimes there are certain things that are like intrinsically good about a thing when you hear the specifications. Where you go, okay, oh, it's gonna have Callahan hardware.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna hand wind the pickups.
Yep.
I'm gonna hand wind the pickups for the ones that we are selling to people.
Yep.
They are hand selected pieces of timber that were then custom designed and cut, and everything was done by hand from that point forward all the way through the process.
Yeah.
By a semi-reputable few gentlemen.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. I mean, so there's other products in your life where you don't really know much about. Like when you go to the grocery store, do you know?
Hey, who made these beans?
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Like if you buy a bag of potatoes, how much do you know
about the farmer?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably nothing.
Nothing.
But you look at them and you're like, I know a good potato when I see one.
How often is it too that you hear something like a potato that costs 65 cents? People might say, well, gosh, that's a little different than a $2,600 guitar. But people buy things all the time that are expensive, built by people they don't know.
Washing machines.
Sure.
Anything.
And it happens so frequently that the notion of a Monday morning or Friday afternoon washing machine or bicycle or car or refrigerator or jar of peanut butter, whatever it is, stuff happens. So you don't question every single thing, but fortunately for us, we have some viewers who have gone out who deem us worthy and bought guitars from us.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is, and I would almost say, if you don't know anything about me or anything about Matt, maybe don't buy a guitar.
Yeah.
Maybe don't.
Guitar Center is open at 10.
Hang out for a couple live streams.
Yeah.
Decide whose thumbnail you like better.
Yep.
Hang out and say hello. Maybe join Patreon, patreon.com/JoeTalksTone, patreon.com/TexasToastGuitars. And get to know some folks and realize that, these guys are more interesting than potato farmers.
That's sometimes that is really my claim to fame, that I really do go out of my way to be more intriguing than the potato guy.
The potato farmer.
Than the potato guy.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So I guess Black Dog Sheep says, is it just me or does everyone's feed look bad? Feed is bad. Not enough bandwidth for them to have 2 live streams. Well, that's not really accurate because you're on a different. You're not on my internet.
No.
So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the live feed, but
I just made a little change. We'll see if.
Okay.
See if that makes
all right. Anyway,
Matt's stream looks low res.
Yeah, well,
all right.
I'm hard plugged into the Ethernet.
Well, and what's funny is he looks like that in real life.
I do. Yeah.
When he moves, he's like,
I'm all pixelated.
Yeah. So I think you're just seeing Matt.
Yeah. Well, so then what, Dylan? What we're actually building? We're working on a workshop today that is the $9,000 guitar building workshop, and we call it that because some people that I've never heard of are selling guitars for $9,000, and I thought, you know what, I could work with 6 or 7 guys and make guitars that are every bit the equal to that for considerably less money.
I would say, and then make a couple of the said guitars. I think we have 2 available to you. So if you want one of these guitars, please get in touch with me or Matt. We had 4, 2 of them sold already. So just get in touch with me or Matt, and we'll make that happen for you. I think actually those 2 guitars too are at the point where you could pick the color and pick guard color and that kind of stuff, and neck profile and whatnot. Still, so yeah.
But let me ask you this: let's say you were going to go to, I don't know, Nathan Strombo's boutique Stratocaster. I'm making him up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And his guitars were $9,000. You'd get the guitar, but you wouldn't get the experience of coming out here and doing all of the work, learning how to do, like the guys are working on nuts and frets today, learning how to do all that stuff. Yesterday they wound all their own pickups. I mean that's got a lot of value too. Yeah. So everyone's has done a bunch of paint work. There's a lot of neat stuff happening here that you don't get by spending 3 times the money and getting, I don't know, maybe Nathan Strombo's guitars are awesome. I don't know.
And I think
he's a made up guy.
Tomorrow when we do the live stream at 5 p.m., you're going to see these guitars are no joke. Yeah. I mean, they are no joke. And what's really cool is they got to learn to do fretwork. These are folks that some of them have never, ever done this before. And their stuff looks great. Partially that's because Matt and Chris they've structured these things to make it to where it's kind of hard to fail. They really want you to have a good experience and a good deal. And same thing with pickups. Everybody was really good at it this time. Again, it was like that last time too. Everybody was really good at it. I don't know how they sound yet, but everything measured awesome and they looked great. And we got the pick guards all soldered. We taught somebody to solder today who'd never soldered before, and his pick guard looks great. He said he did take my soldering. He said he bought my soldering class and watched it.
Cool. Who was that?
That was Tim.
Tim? Nice.
Yeah. So, so this is really fun. And I think if you're one of those people who's like, I don't want to buy a guitar from somebody I don't know, then just hang out with us every Thursday night and get to know what we do around here. Because when I say around here, I'm going to be in Georgia next week. You're still going to be here.
Yep.
But we're still going to be contributing to this great thing that we do, which is making lots of guitar friends and making really cool guitars and making cool pickups.
How long have we been doing the 3+ hours of guitar content every Thursday? It's been over a year, hasn't it?
And you and I've been back to back for probably 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, you and I have been back to back since 2019, I think.
Let's take a couple of questions. One from Doc, who says, Matt, I could never have built my guitars without the learning how from you and Chris and Dylan. The classes have been life-changing for me. Thanks for everything. Well, that's a very cool thing to say. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
And let's take a super chat from Dave the Pious, who writes, if you play your cards right, you can now get a free lesson in refretting. Ask me how I know. I don't know how.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know the story from Dave the Pious.
I don't know either. Someone wanted to know, William wants to know, who makes humbucker pickup covers? Can they make them in other colors? How about something other than black and white? Does he mean pickup bobbins or actual covers?
We can get bobbins in different colors. It takes a little while for me to get them because they come from very far away.
Okay.
But we can get different colors, and it's something I have played around with and experimented with. So if you want something specific, go to my website, hit the little chat thing on the bottom, and let me know. And we might be able to do something for you. DylanTalkStone.com if you're not familiar.
What about the metal, not from heavy metal, the humbucker covers that are metal, that are chrome or nickel, or sometimes you can get them in black. I know you can get those in other colors too.
You can. It's hard to find them, but obviously because I've got other interests that cross over, I've really been thinking about to find somebody that could Cerakote for me.
Oh, sure, that'd be a really cool thing.
Because if you could Cerakote them, you could do all kinds of very fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been thinking about figuring that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that it's not that plastic is a tricky thing to get in colors. It's that bobbins are made in standard colors because that's what people want.
It is. Yep. Same thing with the covers.
Yeah. If DiMarzio has been making pink and green and insert name of color here bobbins for years and years and years and years. But when it comes to winding your own pickups, there's not a lot of that stuff that's out there. That's not cream and black.
Right. For most people. So the problem is that, so we make the clear ones, right? So we have the humbucker clear, but I have to order 400 at a time.
Okay.
So the average dude who's making a few at home with a Mojo tone winder isn't going to want 400 of these things and wait 3 months to get them and pay the shipping that it costs to make a couple of sets of cool humbuckers. So that is something that I've been trying to experiment with, is other suppliers to get some more of that cooler stuff, because we get people ask about it, but here's the problem. One person will ask about it this month.
Yeah.
One person will ask about it in 2 months. And if I have 400 pairs, it's hard.
Yeah.
So one of the things I would like to try to do next year is do a better job of letting people know that we do those crazy.
For every one guy that wants like a gray pickup bobbin, how many are there that want cream and black?
Oh, everybody wants cream and black. I mean, cream and black is besides black is the thing.
How hard is it to get the slug side and the screw side both in cream?
You cannot.
And why is that?
That's because Larry DiMarzio has successfully for many years had the trademark on that color in this business,
which I think is the greatest thing in the world.
I think it's great. I actually am friends with his lawyer.
Oh yeah,
and we've had conversations about. He's like, yeah, I just went. I was just like last year. Yeah, I just went to court again. We had to fight that thing again. They still do it. So what's really funny is if you order, I can order screw side, and I can order slug side.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I get them from my supplier, they are very slightly different colors.
Oh, really?
So that if I were to put them together in the same pickup, they would look stupid. And they do that on purpose because they don't want you to put those in the guitar like that.
So Sir David Dangerous writes that he knows a guy who does Cerakoting. And
I know.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Dave the Pious sent us the super chat again, and he reminded me that he ran a file across the top of his frets last year, and I forgot about that. Yeah. And you were there too.
I probably was.
Yeah.
I probably was.
So anyway, so if you go slow when it comes to fretting, that's just good practice. Vinny wants to know, do you know how Gibson is able to make their double antique white pickups?
Because it's a different color.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a different color.
I have also seen double cream humbuckers that have bar magnets.
Yep.
Probably because that doesn't infringe on.
Correct.
Because
that is not the same. Yep.
Did you see? You know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to talk about that company. But let me ask. Well, you know what I will say? There was a company who was offering a pickup that was very close to well, it was a ceramic magnet, slightly hotter PAF, and they were available for like the first day in double cream, and I should have bought every single one they had because like the next day they were like, oh, sorry.
I know a company that I won't say here, but he puts a post up. There's another pickup design that is trademarked or something by Gibson.
Mm-hmm.
And if he makes too many of them, he gets a cease and desist.
Yeah.
And so the model of the pickup is called the Saint Nick because it's only available on Christmas.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So he'll put a thing on Instagram on Christmas Eve and he's like, put your orders in for the Saint Nick. And it's only available.
Saint Nick.
Yep. It's only available on Christmas Day and that's it. And he doesn't make any other ones other than that.
Totally classic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so
I'm seeing all of these bodies come out of the paint booth hanging here, and they are unbelievable.
There's only two that are kind of close. All the rest are everyone chose something that's never happened before. No.
And there's not one jazz master in this class.
Well, they were all strats.
I know.
Yeah.
So, and we had
Let me add something to that. One of the neat things that we were able to do in this workshop is offer all of the hardware as part of the buy-in because we're using all Callahan hardware. Obviously, we're not using Callahan necks, but we're using everything that's a metal piece that's not a body, a neck, a fret, a truss rod. Comes from Callahan guitars.
You know, it's just looking at even just the little Strat jack cup.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I've handled many of these. And the quality, even over a Fender, is way higher.
Mm-hmm.
The gauge of the metal, the way they must polish rock tumble them or something. There's no little edges on anything. You know, sometimes I was telling him, Chris, you know how sometimes you'll put one of those cheaper ones on a guitar and it'll press a little dent into the
puts a
because
ding in it.
Before you even put a screw in.
Yeah, because they're a little rough or something. These are just super. All the hardware involved in this class, this workshop, are super high quality stuff.
And when Chris and I were speccing the parts for this, we had originally planned to use like Hipshot stuff and a combination of Hipshot and Godo and Highwood and this, that, and the other. And come to find out, it's more expensive to do, but it's easier to just go to Callahan and say, I want one of those kits that has everything in it. And it's all top of the line.
Yep.
And I'm glad we did that because everything else on these guitars is top of the line too.
Can you hand me Tim's loaded pick guard there? Tim, can you hand me that? So, and then when it comes to the electronics portion of this thing, this is where another thing where this workshop really sets it apart. We'll talk about physical parts first, but then I want to talk about the really cool thing. Physical parts. This is an actual Bakelite pickguard. This is not plastic.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty neat. Oak Grigsby switch, which is what the Fender Custom Shop uses. CTS pots, which is what the Custom Shop uses. Paper and oil caps. And then these pickups were wound by each of the folks that came to the workshop. So we brought the parts.
Why is Tim's broken?
It is not broken. It's just got I don't want to be the guy.
Yeah. It looks sort of like a Paul Stanley mirror busted.
Oh, yeah. So not only is it super high end parts, but they got to be able to wind their own pickups. And so the two guitars that we have still available have these pickups. I'm going to wind the ones for those guitars, but it's something that we don't sell on the website. So it's kind of fun. This experience is really cool. And I was really looking forward to this one because it's different.
I want to take a moment to answer a couple questions. Doug, you and Doc are getting different paint and your guitars are ready for that paint, but it takes a little bit longer to do. Isn't that the thing, Chris? Vinny's World says that the red flat work is so sweet. Now, you know what's even sweeter about that? Is that's the only place you can get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless you buy your own red flat work. But Do you offer pickups that have that?
No.
Well, how do people get them?
They come to one of these,
Yeah.
or they buy one of those 2 guitars
Mm-hmm.
that are available, because this is something that I don't put into my other stuff.
It's a cool limited edition
Mhm.
thing, and if you like cool things because cool things are
Mhm.
cool, and you like stuff that's cool, that's what you should buy.
Yeah.
If you don't care and you drive a Ford Taurus that's beige, great. Have a good time with whatever. But sometimes paying a little extra and getting something, you could have something nice.
I mean, yeah.
You could have something nice.
Grand Marquis.
Yeah. You could be drinking Grand Marnier in your Grand Marquis. Yeah. What is it, Mr. Tooth? All right. What's going on now? What else, sir?
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any questions.
Should we get Chris Fesker up here?
No.
Chris says yes.
No.
It's only 5:25.
Okay.
We've been talking all week, though.
I know.
These are always very honestly, 7 people winding pickups in about 9 hours.
Yeah.
Was pretty intense. Fretting all those necks.
Yep.
And everybody's necks came out really good.
They absolutely did.
What are we doing right now? We're putting nuts.
I'm not sure what they're doing.
Ended the day today anyway. Looks like with nuts.
It's funny because when there's a bunch of faceless people on YouTube looking at me and pointing and laughing, I can't see it. But when they're all here in the shop doing
Pointing
it,
and
laughing,
yeah.
Yep. I get a little. I'm a little bit. I got stage fright, I guess.
Ha.
Yeah. Kiki's looking at me like, yeah. And Chris doesn't want to come up and help me out. That's all right. I see how it goes.
I'll come up.
That's all right. We're doing good. We're doing good.
So yeah. So what's next? I mean, since we did this.
Well, tomorrow is all about assembly.
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan.
Hi, Chris.
I'm not sitting in your lap.
I'm gonna put my knee out there so you could.
Yes,
Don't touch my leg. So tomorrow is all about assembly, and again, we're using the all Callahan stuff, and these should just fall together because they're strats.
Yeah, we are almost to the point where it is literally screwing things into wood.
One of the things I was thinking about today, though, while we were doing stuff, is I think there might have been some folks in the comment section over the last few months of us talking about this who thought, well, if you're just going to build the bodies on a CNC, then aren't you just going to spend the rest of the week like bolting parts together?
Oh, no.
And I think that is not, I think everybody here has a stronger appreciation for that not being the case.
And I knew this was going to happen in this class. There is a lot of paint drying time, but that time waiting around will pay off. Wait till you see them tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, they are spectacular.
There was still sanding.
Yeah, there was still, I think, more than enough sanding for everybody.
Oh yeah.
Nobody likes to sand.
Yeah.
So any sanding is more than enough. But there was plenty of sanding.
And one of the things that Matt mentioned to me is one of the benefits of doing a workshop this way is people get to really concentrate on fretwork, which is the most important part of the whole thing.
Yeah. We've recently in classes we've spent a lot more time with fretwork, and it's really paid big dividends. And we did that in this class. We spent a lot of time just working on necks, and all the little things. 5 days isn't a lot of time, and we've built some really neat guitars in the past in 5 days. But these we get to be a little nerdy about some of this stuff, and really go for it. And finishes are insane this time. This really is all about finish, I think.
Is this the first time
finish and assembly
that you've done a complete guitar with this level of finish?
Yes, and that's
I say complete guitar because I know you've done partial.
We have done this amount of finish in a 7-day class, but they weren't finished guitars, so no parts bolted on them except for Doug, who brushed ahead and had almost all the parts on.
Yep.
But Yeah, these guitars will be complete and playable well by the end of tomorrow, and they will look like $1 million.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So
yeah, better than a factory finish. I guarantee you. I mean, I was looking at them today, and I'm like, I don't want to give away anything because you need to watch the reveal tomorrow, and I don't want to give away the types of finishes or anything like that right now because they need to see them.
We offered several different
options,
and different people pick different things, and we have a wide array of colors, and yeah, it's going to be really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
We built a whole bunch of really cool guitars this week. So and in 5 days.
I'll have you know that I did not build a bunch of really cool guitars. I kind of stood around while everybody else did.
You stood around.
Lots of other people made some cool stuff.
You made some really rad sticks to hold necks.
I did.
Yeah,
I
ran
sticks.
some very important errands.
Yeah, that's right. I ate an important slice of pizza and
How many meals did you eat today?
I had 4 or 5 today.
Yeah.
It's
there
still
was half
early.
a burrito,
and then there was another half a burrito.
Yeah. And then there was later on a toasted cheese.
There's a sandwich. Yeah.
Sandwich.
Jim was telling me that my whole week was going to be, now I got to eat a burrito. Now I got to drink a beer. Yeah, it was a pretty mellow. It was a pretty mellow week for me. So yeah.
You also got to drive out to Mike Learns and get more sealer.
I got to drive to Mike Learns, eat a burrito,
which means you got to see Mike Learn twice in 1 week.
That's right. In as many days.
That's a rare thing.
Yeah.
So
no, this has been really cool. I love coming here. I mean, I come here like 4 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
We're coming back in October for another one.
We're going to be doing this exact same thing again. Chris, what would you do differently now? I don't know. You know what? I want to put you on the spot, but would you do anything different next time?
I would do a few things differently.
Okay.
Ash is way harder to deal with.
Okay.
Especially for somebody that hasn't done it before.
Okay.
So I would encourage alder and solid colors.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, maple fingerboards are
way harder.
Way harder. Yeah, a 57 is infinitely harder to build than a 62.
Okay.
So an ash with maple neck is a harder guitar to build than a 62 alder with maple rosewood.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I would venture to say we did the 57 thing this time. I think a 63, 64 would be cool next time. 3-ply pick guards.
Yeah, 3-ply pick guards. Rosewood boards.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically the same, but
just a little different tweak on it.
Yeah. There was really one reason that this was so 57 oriented, and that was because JJJ's here.
The funny thing though is that this was never billed as a build up specific year. It just sort of happened.
Kind of happened.
Yeah, but I think Ash is a pain in the butt, man.
There's a lot of
fingerboards is a pain in the butt, man. So
so I guess we could talk about that for a second. Have you ever gone to Guitar Center or you've bought a Squire Strat or whatever, and you get it home and it feels like the finish is on top of the frets, or maybe it's on the edges of the frets? I've even showed pictures of it. We've done videos where I've done macro shots where you can just see it overlapping the frets. Well, it's because it is. They paint over it, and then they don't do a very good job of getting it off.
Yeah,
and so it's just on there, and it just feels gross. And so we took the extra time. Well, I did. You hopefully did, to make sure that they are legit. But it is an extra hour of work after finish time to make sure that that's done right. But that's also why this is like a guitar worth having. You know? So
Calm Cross would like to know. He says he doesn't want to do super chat because YouTube takes a big bite, and they do. But he wants to know how to send money. And you know what? The best way to do it is buy some T-shirts, buy some stickers, buy whatever it is that we have. I think we've got some new T-shirts up on the Teespring thing.
We do, yeah.
And I think there's more coming soon. There's a bunch of new. Joy sent me a new Texas Toast Guitars logo T-shirt thing that I think it's going to be really cool. And it's not. It doesn't say, "Does this guitar make my dick look big?" or anything.
No,
But it's just a cool logo. That you want one of those shirts, Kiki?
Yeah.
Yes, I knew it. I knew. Medium. Okay, yeah. Doc Silton sent $30 Canadian. Says beers for the class. So you guys know where they are, right?
Thanks, Doc.
And would you bring me one too? God bless you, Chris.
Somebody on my feed said that. Let's see. Wow, I figured maple necks were the easy, cheap option. In what setting would they be the cheap, easy option?
If you're
Thanks,
just
man.
gonna oil it, it would be easy enough, but they look terrible in about 12 minutes.
Yeah,
If
because
you
they just
oil
get
a
dirty
maple
and gross.
fingerboard,
And,
yeah. Putting finish on a maple fingerboard with frets in or frets out isn't all that easy.
Because you have to grind on the frets
Well,
and
then you
level
have
them and
to,
dress
you
them.
have to
And
do all that fretwork. So yeah, it's.
Yep.
I don't know. That's the reason you hear about. Oh, they thought that Rosewood looked classier, or that the maple boards wore really fast and looked really terrible.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe. I think it was just an easier production.
Yeah, and it's interesting because people do think that maple is cheaper than rosewood because rosewood is fancier because it's dark, because it's whatever.
Yeah.
And it isn't. It's the other way around.
Yeah, and I think those original necks, were one piece of wood, and that's why they were maple all the way through. But
Tom2579 says he needs a link for Teespring. That link is on our YouTube videos as well as on TexasToastGuitars.com. You can
also
find
Google Texas Toast Teespring, TEE Spring, and it will take you there.
But the easiest way, I think the easiest way is if you just go to our website, you can see all the other neat stuff that we got going. And there's a link
we
to
have a link there.
Yes, sir,
Okay,
we do.
cool.
Yes, sir. As of a couple days ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And we have DylanTalksTone.com. We have a whole section with T-shirts and
We don't care about your
stickers.
I think Vinny said he's down for a T-shirt that says, "Does this guitar make my dick look big?" Don't worry, sir. We're working on those. Those are coming. Steven wants to know when is a good time to call me. There's really no good time to call me. But email is the best time. But if you want to call, if you've got my number, you can call me. I may or may not. I'm not going to answer right now, but
Yeah. Phone calls are hard because emails are easier for me too. I don't usually take phone calls because oftentimes people really want to know a piece of information, but then they also want to talk about other things. And it's more helpful to be concise with an email. And also, when somebody asks a question, I can answer it, and then I know that I answered it.
Yeah.
Are you looking at the back?
I'm trying to make sure that everything. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, we're mirrored.
Yeah.
Mirror, non-mirror situation going here. Yeah.
Okay. Lefty wants to know the one-piece maple neck is why they came up with the skunk stripe, is it not? Yes, you have to have the skunk stripe. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but generally speaking, the skunk stripe is there for the maple neck with the maple fretboard with no separate fretboard.
However, that is another very cool custom thing. That these guitars do not have skunk stripes.
That's right.
Because even the maple ones, because Steve does something that I've never seen done before when he makes these necks, where he takes the piece of wood and he cuts the fretboard from the same piece of wood off. Then he puts he shapes the neck and does all the stuff. He puts the truss rod in and then puts that same matching piece back on.
Yep.
So that when you look at the neck, most of them, it depends on the grain pattern because of the thickness of the blade and all that. But most of them, you look at them from the side and from the end, and you can't tell. It looks like one piece of wood.
And there's a handful of builders who have done that before, but generally speaking,
that's
it's
not normally a thing you see. And then also because of the way he does it, there is no skunk stripe in the rosewood fretboards either, so you don't have that on the back. So these are like kind of above average sort of situation.
I think this is one that, yeah. So if you look at that, you can see that the board is glued on there.
Yep.
but you can see that the lines here, maybe
There you go,
on
show
your
that one
camera,
too.
I'm gonna put it on the. I don't think it's focusing.
Here, let me see
Yeah,
if I can-
I'll let you.
I'll do it. Well, sometimes this works. Anyway,
You're
Yeah.
getting closer.
it's hard to show you, but basically, and then where you really can not see it,
Yeah.
is on the side.
Yep.
This thing is huge.
Well, that's a 5-string.
Oh, I'm like,
bass
what
neck,
in the
yeah.
hell?
Yeah.
This is the biggest Strat neck I've ever. Is this for Doug? I was gonna.
It's a bass neck.
But you can't see the seam right here. This looks like one piece.
Mhm.
You know, you could kind of tell in the heel here, but nobody looks at the heel because that's in the guitar. This is what you actually see, and you cannot tell.
Nope.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
And there's no, so cool. Yeah, it's very special.
Yep.
Way of doing it.
Yep. All
Is that
right.
So it could fit in the case.
This is one that this is a prototype
Oh, okay.
that did oh, we ran out of lumber.
The piece of wood
Wasn't quite
wasn't
long
quite long enough. That's why it's here.
Oh, okay.
The other thing that it could be used to prevent trademark infringement.
Oh,
I don't think that would work, but
It's like
yeah.
a Tokai. Yeah.
Yeah.
Went out in the parking lot and sawed all the
It sawed all this stuff.
all the headstocks off.
But yeah, but isn't that what it really was? He just kind of like, oh crap, I got the
He actually said that. Yeah, because he made another one exactly like it with a long enough piece of wood.
do you think that the scratch build luthiers are going to migrate to non-wood necks anytime soon, or is carbon too much to expect out of small runs?
That's a great
That's
question.
an interesting question.
I think most people want wood, so
I'm going to keep making
they're
wood.
going to keep making wood. Yeah.
Mhm.
And small builders, if they're making their own or buying them from somebody else, I think wood's always cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I've got a carbon fiber neck on the way for a Telecaster build that I'm working on, and it's $700.
Yep.
So
carbon won't ever be cheap. It might go down, but it's never going to be
Yeah.
cheap.
Exactly. The cheapest full size acoustic guitar that I have in carbon is $2,000.
Yeah.
And the nice one is $3,700.
Yeah, because it's still, it's not like they pump it out of a tube.
No.
It's still hand laid.
Mhm.
Even no matter what it is, it's hand laid, and yeah,
And the engineering that goes into
Yeah.
it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about it is,
and
it will
molds
all
are
have
really
to be done on
expensive.
volume.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you would have to be doing serious amounts of volume and have serious amounts of customers that wanted it to do it. And
I think you guys are missing something though.
you don't want
Do
to
you
do
think
it.
you go to a small builder for that? What I mean is, do you think small builders will all gravitate towards one thing or another? It depends on what customers want from small builders.
Yeah, I think
If
there'll
you
be a guy that or two or three that
Sure.
specialize.
That's
in
their
carbon neck
thing.
Guitars,
Yeah.
and but that guitar won't be cheaper than a wood guitar.
No,
Yeah.
no. But I think that the reason that you go to an independent guitar builder is not because they use modern materials necessarily. It's because they do it a certain way, or they make something that you want that's traditional and they make it by hand.
I think so.
Like-
Non-traditional builders that are kind of smaller that I think of is Dan Armstrong with the aluminum stuff.
Well,
Or,
the lucite.
And then I also what's the place? I think they're in Alabama, Electrical Guitar Company,
Mhm.
and they make the aluminum milled bodies and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I've
really
seen
neat.
those. Yeah.
But
I
that's
think-
just a thing, and you go to that guy for
Yeah.
that.
Well, and
Yeah.
you're both right
but
though.
at that
There
point, it's
there
not
are
about price.
no, it's not a price thing. It's
No.
a cool thing.
Yeah.
And I think those guys are always going to be innovating and steering the industry into a neat facet that you might not. Fender, for example, isn't going to corner the market on lucite guitars anytime soon. They have more than they can handle making stuff out of alder and maple and rosewood.
Yeah.
But there could be someone small, like Tim might say, you know what, I'm going to make a carbon fiber with a gel coat neck or body or something, and that's going to be my thing. There are I do know that there are acoustic builders, classical builders who have experimented with carbon fiber reinforced tops and backs and multi-laminating sides and things like that they do that stuff for years and years and years until the rest of the industry catches on, especially provided it's popular. You know what I mean? I don't think that anybody, and I don't think there's any small builders that are going to go, I'm going to make the back of my guitar out of a one-piece plastic shell like Ovation did.
Right. Ivan sent us a super chat, $2 metric, and said, how much does Matt want for that neck?
What
I
neck?
think he's talking about the base.
The base neck.
Oh, the base neck? I don't even know.
With the tip cut off.
I don't know. Please send me an email.
Just the tip. Yeah, Ivan.
I'm happy to sell that to you.
Yeah. So Ivan is a regular. He's part of our Patreon. He comes to all the stuff, and he likes building. He learned to wind pickups at home.
Cool.
And he's experimenting with interesting bass stuff.
Okay.
So he would be the guy to own that.
Yeah. Now that's got a Bitterroot truss rod and is steel or graphite reinforcements in the neck. But yeah, I'll absolutely sell that to you. Just let me know what. Yeah. So please send me an email though. That way we don't have to discuss pricing on a social media.
Email.
Yeah.
What's email?
I also think that brings us back around to our whole conversation that we were having earlier about why would you buy from somebody? And the whole point is you got to get to know them first through watching live streams, through watching all this other stuff. And you find out that, we make our pickups a certain way. And this is the thing that we do with all of our pickups. And Matt, Matt and Chris have their 73 finish that is special. And they have their peg head angle that is special. And they have their various little things that they do here. You know, I think that's what we're talking about is when you have your own little innovations. Because Fender and Gibson, people get mad at Fender and Gibson for not innovating, but their job is not to do that. Their job is to be them.
And every time they do, normally they
Doesn't matter.
fall on their face.
Yeah.
There's a few exceptions, but anyway.
Yeah.
Chris, we got a super chat from Doug who writes, I want to don't react to what I'm about to read you. He writes, did you tell Chris I was upset? Well, wait a minute. Is this okay? Doug says, did you tell Chris that I was upset I wasn't able to buy his guitar for the $400 guitar build?
Can I answer that?
You sure can.
He lowballed me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't want to show him this then?
No, you can show him that.
So Doug, you can still get this.
This is
Take
P001. Yeah.
Now I don't know what Chris wants for it, but you can still get it.
Yeah. There was a guy with $1,500 in his hand on Saturday,
Literally waving it in his face.
Yeah, he was
I
like,
was standing there.
I won. Sweet. Can I buy your guitar?
There you go.
You sure you want to do that, dude? Yep. Okay. Give me $1,500. We're done.
So if you want one, Doug, there's this one.
There's
So,
that one.
okay.
And I will build more.
Okay. Now you can't
Yes,
buy
sir, I
mine
will.
because Mike bought mine. Well,
Correct.
Mike is
Yeah,
alleging to buy it. Yeah. Well, I think he's good for it.
I haven't answered Doug, because I felt bad.
Oh, okay.
He offered $1,000. I'm like,
Yeah.
lowball that.
We told everyone 15. So, Colm Cross sent us some super chat money. I was gonna say PayPal super chat money. He says this will maybe get you a few beers. God bless you, sir. That's very kind of you.
Hey Matt, look what I just found.
Oh,
The
Gee,
I was looking
that
for
thing.
all week. It's a little
The
hooky
thing you were looking for.
That
We were.
that thing that what tells time.
Yep.
Okay, there's a couple of questions coming in here that one is for you, Dylan, but one is really more of a statement. It looks like Parker Fly was the new hotness. Everyone said it was so cool in the next gen of guitars, innovative and the future, etc. It was. How many people can you name who played one other than Adrian Ballou? Yeah, I can't name anybody.
I can name one.
Besides Adrian Ballou.
Bluesman Josh.
Bluesman. Oh, that's right. Neckbone Josh.
Neckbone.
Okay.
Scott
Yeah.
knows Bluesman Josh.
Yeah, I really don't think that you go to a small independent builder for innovative materials necessarily until you do. And here's a pickup related question from Steven who wants to know what happens when you utilize unbalanced coils in a humbucker like a 5K and an 8K coil.
It just sounds different.
Okay.
That's something that you have to experiment with. The reason that question usually comes up is because there was this whole mythology around original PAFs because there were allegedly 300 winds different, one coil to the other. But really, what it was is they didn't have a counter on their machine, and it was just like, yep, that looks full.
Not accurate.
Yeah, that looks full. Okay, I'm.
When I wound pickups, we didn't have a counter. It was like you just stopped and measured, and that was that. Because it was an old sewing machine that had been converted into a pickup winder.
And so there's a lot of myths surrounding that, but I would say that a lot of people have experimented with that stuff and with differing results based on tension and all kinds of other things. So there's no real one answer to that.
Doug says send him an invoice for that.
There you go. So plus or minus 10% though isn't going to get you a 5K or an 8K coil difference.
No, correct.
Yeah, that's an intentional kind of
yes,
thing.
That's an intentional thing. And what will typically happen is it'll get real mid-range pokey, and the highs will go away.
Yeah,
really
you'll probably
hard.
end up with some sort of weird. I haven't done it. I haven't played anything that I'm aware of, but I would assume that it starts getting a little quacky.
Yep.
If yeah.
Yep. That's what it does.
Yeah.
So Doc writes that he started his 1,000 ounce guitar. He bought the wood for his 1,000 ounce guitar.
Okay.
I've been.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Oh my gosh!
Now,
I love this
no,
idea.
I'm sorry, not 1,000, 100 ounce.
Oh, 100 ounce.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Not 1,000.
America's 100s.
Yeah. Now, I've been getting some grief about my 100 ounce guitar build. And I don't know what to do about it, but because I've been told that if it's 99 ounces or 101 ounces, that shipping it from a humid region to a dry region or vice versa is going to alter the weight of the guitar such that it's now doesn't make weight.
Well, you know what I think?
It's not a towel.
Look, man, I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
make
just
it
telling
out
you
of
what
hair,
people say.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just telling you what someone has said. And then I heard people say, what if you made it to where if it weighs exactly 100 ounces, then you don't get any penalty. But if it weighs more or less, that for every ounce over or under it weighs, you lose a point, because they'll be judged on the same criteria anyway. I really don't like that. I really do firmly believe that making a guitar building challenge should be a challenge. And I'm not saying that it's easy. In fact, I have no idea how difficult it's going to be.
Those that can do, and those that can't, make YouTube comments.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
but I don't know. Oh, okay. But I.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. But as of right now, the 100 ounce challenge is still the rules are the same. And maybe what we do is when people show up and go, gosh, I'm 2 ounces over, or I'm 3 ounces under, then we'll do something. But I really do think that okay, Doc, who's already begun and will enter, actually says no compromise, 99 to 101 ounces or bust.
I think what you do is you make it intentionally a couple ounces lighter, and you bring some masking tape and a roll of quarters. And if you show up and it's too light, you fix it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not that hard.
Vinny says, I think the parameters as you set them is what makes the contest interesting.
I agree.
Lefty says 6.25 pounds. I think you just have to be smart about your choices. Under 5.5 would make it crazy. Now, Lefty, a couple things. I didn't say 6.25 or less. I said 6.25.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be, and I'll give you an ounce on the high end and an ounce on the low end, but it's got to be right there.
This is like passing tech for some kind of fancy race.
Yeah.
It has to weigh this.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters.
Not less. It has to weigh
this.
Dave says that 100 ounces is doable. Just do it. Yeah. I don't think that it's an unrealistic thing. I think that it's going to be very tricky, though, to get it exactly 6.25.
I know exactly what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I already have a plan. I'm doing it. I'm not sponsoring. So just FYI,
Paul-
I'm not sponsoring anything next year. 'Cause
Okay.
I want to do it.
Paul,
Yeah.
Paul asks, will there be certified scales? Yes, we have. We have.
Beer scale.
We have a contact at the National Institute of Standards and Technology in Boulder that's going to authenticate and verify all of the scales used. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we don't. But I do know some people who work at NIST from when I worked at NOAA. So yeah, we could do that. We could make sure to have calibrated scales. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know who else I know? He doesn't work at NOAA anymore, but he actually moved to New Zealand. Bill Dubé. Do you know that name, Bill Dubé?
No.
You might, because he was one of the inventors of the electric motorcycle, the Kilocycle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was gonna say we could maybe get Bill to do it, but he lives in New Zealand now. But anyway.
All right. So I'm excited about it. I think it's really cool. I have people probably already know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do some stuff. And I have a way to implement some technology to make sure that it doesn't matter what it weighs at home. That I can hit the mark when I get there.
Yeah. I don't know how doable it is, but I think if we wanted to be like every other guitar building contest, we could say, just make a guitar and enter it. And that's fine.
A 6-pound telly is easy. Like if you were to think about this in stuff you already know, right? So a 6-pound telly is not that hard. I built lots of 6-pound tellies. That's not that hard. So to dial in that weight wouldn't be that difficult. But now to do it with something other than a telly that actually is got some imagination and some creativity and some, then there's where the challenge comes in. But I think I think it's good.
Chris, not to put you on the spot, but how doable do you think it is to be exactly 100 ounces?
Well, I think
give or take an ounce.
I think it's give or take an ounce. I think that changes the whole thing. I think it's
okay.
Pretty easy to do. I think what you have to do is kind of hedge your bets a little bit, and
maybe have a hollow pocket that. Oh shit!
Wow, we almost made it.
We have a big air leak somewhere. Oh, really? Or several little air leaks. Yeah, because we haven't used it. Whatever.
Yeah, I think there's a way to do some adjustable ballast. That could be,
Yeah. When Matt first said, I said, well, I'll just make it way under and add weight to it. And he's like, no, that's not how it's going to work.
I don't want to know about it.
Right.
If that's what people do. I don't want a big lead chunk in there
Yeah. But
and so that's why I made it so light.
There's sneaky,
because it wasn't like it was like 10 pounds. It was 6 and it wasn't 5 pounds.
That'd be a fun thing too. Yeah. Everybody has to build a 10-pound guitar. Okay. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Bunch of guitars nobody wants to play.
But that's going to take into account material selection. Notice the very careful wording there.
Yep.
As well as design and feature set, and you're gonna have to really think about it. It's really going to be
the idea was, what if the ultimate sometimes building a guitar or a bicycle or a car or a gun that is under
X
pounds is a goal, and people try to shoot for that stuff, and there's no penalty for having it be lighter than that,
right?
Provided it does what you want it to do. But what if you took that to the extreme of not just making something light for the sake of making it light, but it has to weigh 100 ounces?
Because we're going to shoot it to the moon, and that's all the capacity we have left.
Well, but that would mean, though, that if you had the only capacity you had was 100 ounces, if it came in at 75 ounces, that'd be fine too. However, for the purposes of this contest, it's not.
Sure. Formula One and like Tour de France bikes, they can't be under and they cannot be over. Formula One is not only can they not be under and cannot be over, but they have to pull into the pit after the race with a minimum amount of fuel, and that car has to weigh a certain amount.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, this is not unheard of in many.
So let me ask you, and again, not to put you on the spot, I'm trying to ask a loaded question though. If you bought a Tour de France bike or a replica, a clone correct Tour de France bike, and you knew that Joey Tetrazzini's bike that he won it with weighed exactly 100 ounces,
Uh-huh.
and you got one and it weighed 105 ounces, would you be like, well, this is bull crap? Or would you go, nah, I'm okay with that? Or would you go, the air density in France must be different than it is? I don't know. What would you do? I would think, like, if you wanted it to be exactly like, I forget the guy's name.
I mean, at that kind of money, I would want it to be almost the exact as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
I remember the days of guys adding a computer to make their bike weigh heavy enough. And so they would actually tack on shit.
And that was like the size of a watch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were so close that add an extra whatever.
Oh wow, it's already 5:59 too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of things here. Polonia would be great for that competition. Rusty Fender says his weighs 6 pounds right now. I guess he can add a pickup. Last time I know, Ed Dupree says 100 ounces was a felony. Steve says Western red cedar with a hardwood 1/4 inch top makes a light guitar. Butch Landry says Uline has some reference weights. Get a 6.5 weight and set up a scale as a reference. Seems like adjust it when you got there. Kind of takes the value out of the contest. Yeah, it might, Tom, but I don't know.
I think you're allowed to bring your own scale and weigh it. The night before.
Somebody has a good idea.
All right.
Make a Swiss cheese themed guitar, and then nobody would know if you took any weight out.
Well, Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then extra hole.
Yeah, extra hole.
Extra hole right here with no finish on it.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I have no idea what the purpose of this event is.
There is
my favorite part of this is people are in the weeds over the weight. That's not really the thing. I mean, it's part of it, but it's not all of it. You still have to build something cool, and you still have to build something good. It's not just a guitar with a bunch of holes in it.
A Strat from Guitar Center with a bunch of holes
in it is not going to win, right? Yeah. So you still it's a very small part of the overall competition. Just like $400, the winning guitar. I didn't notice one single part that he had on that guitar. I mean, I was aware of them. But it was the overall guitar that won the competition.
That's an excellent point, Chris.
His frugalness in buying parts and getting the best parts for $400.
I think that guitar could have won last year too.
Yes, overall presentation was the thing with the guitar that won. Yes. And that's why I brought up the passing tech at a race analogy, because the 6.25 pounds is just to pass tech. That's not necessarily not the goal of
you still have to race.
If you got a pooch pooch car, you're not going to win.
How hard was it to build a Pinewood Derby car and make it cool and come in on weight?
Yeah,
it's the same.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's still you gotta make it fast.
I heard the guitar contest people were cooler though.
Oh yeah,
way cooler.
Nobody was completely butthurt.
No,
But dude cheated. You got third.
Martin wants to know if we're running a contest or answering gear questions. So we must have missed a comment from him, a question. My fret rad is 20. I'm looking, Martin. What do you guys think about a 5-piece neck? Well, I think that a 5-piece neck is a great thing.
Glued side to side, not end to end.
No, yeah. I think the multi-laminate necks are terrific, and they're very stable, and it's certainly easier to get wood that is dried properly and is stable when it is smaller than it is larger. So if for example, the Hamer stress neck was a 3-piece neck, not because it was necessarily better construction technique, but because it was easier to get 4/4 lumber and glue it together than it was to get 12/4 lumber that was dry. Okay. And I have no idea what's wrong with your radius at 20 inch, but I don't think there's anything wrong at all with a 20-inch radius.
And if we're answering questions, and I think sometimes we do these things for fun because we don't get to see each other very often.
That's true.
It's kind of just what happens.
And I can't watch the thing all the time.
No,
It's that.
no.
So when I wasn't answering your question, it wasn't because I don't like you, just because I
You know
I
what
didn't
usually
see it.
fixes that?
What's that?
A super chat.
Oh, well, that okay, yeah. And you don't have. There's no
Even a
paywall. But
$2
yeah.
super chat will light up the screen.
yeah, and say, oh, hey,
Yeah.
we're over an hour.
Okay. Well, we've got some serious drinking to do. So no, we don't really, but we might because Kiki and Jim are here.
Yeah.
Kiki.
Cheers.
Hey, I want to. I don't know if TT is watching, but if Tommy Kaloje is watching, I hope you and Cindy are doing great. We're thinking about you here at Texas Toast Guitars. And what else?
I mean, make sure you stop by tomorrow
Oh,
for the live stream tomorrow. I really want everybody to see these guitars
They're gonna be cool.
because I just want you to see what is possible.
You think Brian Duncan's going to unass his lazy boy tomorrow and show up, or is he going to, or is he going to be reclining all day
I thought
tomorrow?
that turd was going to be here at 4.
I'm not going there.
All right,
I'm not
all right,
going
all right.
there.
Maybe but Brian might have something happening that we don't know about. So yeah.
That's true.
I was a little bit nervous about this class because it's very different than some of the other classes we've done. And I'm really excited to show stuff off tomorrow. I'm no longer nervous.
No, this stuff
Yeah.
is really cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
everything's really,
It's-
really rad. So
Yeah. This is really cool. And if this is possible, then just think of what could be possible. I'll just end you on that.
That should be a T-shirt.
Hey,
If
man.
this is possible.
Then
Think about what
stuff
could
it could be possible
possible.
too.
And
Yeah.
to take us home tonight, I have no idea what the new Badlands guitar is. I don't know what that is.
I've not. It's Phil McKnight's new thing.
Oh,
I
Phil
haven't
McKnight.
seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know anything about him, but if Phil McKnight's name is attached to it,
Probably
I'm sure
cool.
it's good. Yeah.
Bola guitars.
We'll see.
Actually, no, sir.
No, it's not him.
Not this time.
I happen to know
Oh,
who's making
I
it.
do know.
Yeah.
$9,000 strap.
Just
Um,
kidding.
Yeah, but that's all I know about
I'm sure
them.
it's great.
So
Yeah.
anyway, all right, gang. We'll see you tomorrow for the reveal. Take care. Have a good night. I have to push N9.
All right, Sam, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.